Hey, Extension friends, Nate Birt here, NTAE Key Informant. Great to be with you again, talking about climate work within Extension and opportunities for growth as a professional within the Extension system and also just as a leader in climate action. Today, I want to talk about something that maybe is a little bit off the beaten path. I call it surprise and delight. Oftentimes in Extension, really in any organization that's focused on climate, it's very easy to get sort of weighted down by the heaviness of the matter, right? We're dealing with global change, right? We're dealing with the possibility of risk, severe weather, human lives, and land and wildlife, and really life being upended by increasingly volatile, climate. And so as a result, there is so much to do between the sort of the existential threat of climate and the day-to-day grind of doing the work. It can become very easy to maybe miss the joy or the potential or the hopefulness that is really embedded in this work. It's why we show up every day to do what we do. So with that in mind, let me just spend a few minutes sort of addressing this idea and give you some quick ideas for how you might be able to actually inject this into the work you do with other Extension professionals, with your collaborators outside of Extension, etc. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and click through. So, as I mentioned, your climate work is not just about science, although that's critical, that's foundational to everything you do, nor is it just about the application of that science to the communities or the people that you serve, right? It's more than that. It's also about just the experience of doing the work, the fact that there is a community domestically, within Extension, globally, focused on these issues that's moving forward, making a difference, and really setting aside a lot of other things they could be doing to focus on this because you believe it's that important. And so that's something you shouldn't lose sight of, right? That's something to celebrate. It's something to remind yourself of the progress that's been made. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, there will always be barriers. I've mentioned this before, but the Dan Sullivan framework, the gap and the gain, right? Someone with a gap mindset is always thinking about all the things they could and should be doing, but maybe they don't have time or they haven't progressed as far as the goals that they'd set. And so consequently, you always feel like you're never going to get ahead. Whereas someone in the gain mindset only compares themselves and their work against their past self and the past work, right? How much progress have you made? How much have you learned? How many more people have you impacted? How many more research studies or programs have you implemented? How many more encouraging conversations have you had with colleagues who are really stressed out and frustrated and disappointed? So always think with that gain mindset and you'll be in a really great place. When it comes to surprise and delight, what I'm talking about is looking for opportunities for working with those you serve to give them a reason to be optimistic, give them a reason for hope, encourage them, right? So find opportunities to share these four things, and this can help really add an element of surprise and delight to everyone you work with in climate. So the first is opportunities, right? This could be opportunities for new partnership. It could be new science that's emerging that's going to unlock doors of opportunity for you within Extension to serve your clients or to have better insights or deeper data that's going to help you make more informed decisions. Any of those things could represent an opportunity. So look for those things and share them when you can with other Extension professionals, with your clients, with the community members you serve. The second is look for opportunities to share appreciation, right? Gratitude goes a long way, especially in a climate where things are uncertain, where things are always changing, where maybe it feels like there's this scarcity mindset that's setting in, right? There's less funding available. There are fewer researchers and scientists and Extension professionals to do the work, and the need has never been greater, right? So look for opportunities to show appreciation and point out specific examples. Like, I really appreciated when you did this because that. It made me feel this way, or it advanced our work for these reasons. Generic appreciation is fine, but specific appreciation, next level. Next is validation, right? A lot of people get into this work maybe a few months or a few years, and you start to burn out or you start to wonder, is this even worth it? Are we actually making a difference? So I'm not talking about just shallow, hollow validation in the face of, recognizing your work is not going anywhere. Hopefully there are examples you can point to for yourself and for your colleagues of how much progress you're making. So validate that, right? People need often a measure of outside feedback that you're moving in the right direction, right? When your kids, if you have children or you have nieces or nephews or friends, and you're trying to give them encouragement, often you're going to say, hey, look, what you did was really great. I bet you could do that again. Or I wonder if you rode the bike, 10 feet that time, maybe next time you can ride it for 20 feet. You can ride it to the end of the driveway. So you're just giving people evidence of progress. You're giving them evidence that their work matters, their investment of time and energy matters, and then giving them that next nudge to figure out what they can do. Like, people, we often don't realize what we're capable of until someone outside of ourselves, outside of our sort of existential threatened brain, comes and says, look, you matter, your work matters. What if you did this next? I wonder if you tried this, okay? Finally, find opportunities to share insights, right? What are you learning? How are you growing? What are you seeing from your clients? Who's winning? What success stories or case studies are out there that would benefit the larger extension community working on climate issues? So find ways to share these 4 things: opportunities, appreciation, validation, and insights. And you may find that in addition to surprising and delighting those you work with, it's also going to make it more positive for you, right? You're going to have more joy in your work. You're going to actively be training your brain to look for the benefits, to look for what's working, to look for the opportunities. And it's going to make everything you do a little bit brighter and a little bit fresher. So my call to action for you this week: what's one way you can surprise and delight other extension climate professionals or partners, or both, as you work together? So send me a note, let me know. Again, Nate Birt at extension.org. I would love to hear from you how you are finding ways to add delight and surprise to the work you're doing in climate. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you on the next video.